That's too modular.
This is the part that they didn't want you to see.
You wash that part, and then that one's too much. Too much.
What do you mean? That's awesome, right?
It's too advanced.
This thing's giving me OCD. Just.
Ew. Yucky. Dirty.
What's my gadget of the week that I can show you? Consumerism. It's alive and well.
It's good. It's good. It's gone.
The issue is I can't see like my corner, so you can see my whole shoulder.
Just scooch in.
But so you can't.
It's just a little. I mean, what do you mean you can't see it? Is it because this lip?
Yeah, the lip.
Whoa. Just like if you go an inch this way. There it is. That's the money.
I think you need to.
I like, because this is part of the conversation.
What if we just
Praise God.
look at it?
Oop.
What
Sorry.
What I think is like to your nose. Like what I think about Trump is in your mouth.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
2 hours of that.
Yeah.
And then the last like 5 seconds is you just pulling it out of your mouth. Bye guys.
Yeah.
Great content. No one's doing it. That's the thing.
That's not the thing.
You just gotta find your in.
So, Donald J. Trump.
Right into it.
President-elect.
Turned president.
He's president-elect now.
Oh, sorry. I don't know terms. I don't know politics.
It's okay. I don't either.
It's like the great Jeezy, aka Young Jeezy, once said.
Oh, amazing.
My president is black.
Mm-hmm.
My something is blue. Something else is red.
Mm-hmm.
And then a good statement after that.
So that was...
Everything's evolved.
Yeah.
What a guy.
Our president.
There we go. He's on. He's on the team. Tell me.
I don't know. What?
Let me just take it back a couple months when he said, this whole weird thing is working. He's weird is working. I see it. The people are changing out there. The people.
I had hope.
That's a great
My failure. My failure was that I had hope. But you know what? I have hope again.
No, you should be like, but you know what? If I have hope, kill me then. This is oddly very dark podcast. Okay, go. Give me your 2 cents.
He won fair and square, didn't he? If you consider that fair and square.
There it is. Here it goes.
But is anything fair and square?
Oh, coming back.
Nothing's fair and square.
There it is.
They're just squares.
Oh god, this is
if I'm being fair.
Let me get my water. I'm getting a little lightheaded, honestly. All this.
Oh, my bad.
Fair and square. Where's my... Oh, it's over there. Sorry, guys. This is real. There's real stuff right here.
This is a real thirsty man. They don't show this on David Letterman.
They don't show this on Joe Rogan, do they? I think they actually do, but...
I think they just have the water there instead of...
Yeah, they have serpents.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Clearly, you wanted to make a point.
I actually didn't, but I realized how annoying it was.
I don't know. I think in the end, it's like, literally, it is what it is. Now what, right? Well, I can't. We're going to cry over it? Like
Some people are.
There's no point. The only thing, like, to do is to do better. And it's not like I'm like, Kamala, is it Kamala?
Yeah, Kamala.
Kamala?
Kamala. Kamehameha.
It's not like
Her name Kamehameha. Let's just call her Kamehameha.
That's racist. But
Is it?
no.
No.
Either way, it would have been like, I guess we're here, you know? Like, there's neither of them would save us. But having her there would have been like, all right, there's not the craziest person with all the power in the world.
If she was there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But, like, nobody would have been happy. This might have been the best outcome, because if she won, all the people who have guns would have lost, and there would have just been a war.
No.
Maybe not.
But I know what you mean.
It would have just been a little more ugly, I think. But now that he won, it's like, all right, how are we going to make the best of it? Like, how can we, no matter what, if you love them or hate them, how are we going to make people's lives better? Like, that's the only way to survive.
But one of the issues there is, like, on that last statement you said, make people's lives better. Everyone is out for themselves. Yeah. So they're going to do what makes their life better.
Yeah.
If that means, like, voting for Trump, that way they can vote for a bill that makes the forest go away and their money in the bank go up. That's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Which goes back to the initial point, which is whoever you go for, it's kind of a shit sandwich.
I think this should show us that. Sorry.
Don't cry. That would have been funny. Like, this should show us that.
Sorry. That it should show us that we shouldn't rely on these people at all. Like anything. Like we shouldn't be this split, you know? Like the change should be, not to digress, but to digress. I went into like the tiniest little rabbit hole, like literally a 10-minute rabbit hole of Pokemon
niche
fan made games.
Okay.
And they're all just like better than Pokemon games.
Mm-hmm.
Today at least. And I think like from that little bit, I think we're at just a point where how about we just
make our own fun?
Yeah, make other people's lives better and stop relying on the president to have all this responsibility to make everything better.
Right. I mean, yeah, there's certain things that are in our control that we can do what you're saying, but there's also things that's not in our control and that are in his control, which is, I think, the issue, though. Right? Like, you're right. We shouldn't look to him for certain things. We shouldn't look to Kamala. We shouldn't look for Obama. But at the end of the day, someone's going to get elected and alter things that can affect us. Yeah. Whether we are looking at them or not. Which is...
But then, if you can't control it, don't think about it as best as you can.
Right. And it's also important to note that, like, you're in a country that voted that way.
Yeah.
Right? Whether you like it or not, like you're in the country that voted that way, so that means more people like that than like what you like. Even though they might technically be wrong, right? You can't, going back to what you said, you can't change things. Like it is what it is. It's like he won fair and square. Bippity boppity boop.
Yeah.
But I've also thought about the, like, what's better? Because, okay, let me just tell you how I feel about this. Okay. My name is Adrian Frosty. I was born in August 28, 1990. Wow. Day one?
Trump.
All
right. All right.
No, I feel like both are bad. Whoever you pick, you have blood on your hands. Voting, it's kind of futile. whoever, even if it wasn't Trump, even if it wasn't Kamala, like everything's kind of futile the way it's currently configured. And I didn't vote. And I was kind of, at the end of the day, I was kind of leaning towards Trump without having any kind of information about policies for anyone. The only, like, the big gist of it is, like, I know that Trump is for, like, economy and making America stronger in a way. And I know Kamala's more for, like, humanity, American humanity, right? But not world humanity.
Yeah.
Like, both have their drawbacks, and it's just so freaking, like, complicated, right? Like, you can't vote for one with a good conscience, I think. Yeah. That's my issue.
Yeah.
And that's like, that's a whole bigger issue, right? Like that if you vote one way, your conscience doesn't feel correct.
I think I'm not a history major, but I feel like if you just go back each president, you could say that about each one.
Yes. Yeah.
Obama, maybe that's the one where we're kind of like rose tinted glasses, just because he felt genuine.
Right.
But
even if you look at his track record,
yeah,
it's
like
spotty.
War criminal, like
right.
You could just say that, I'm like, oh, he's a bad person.
Right.
And if someone says that, I'm like, well, that's true. I guess you have a point. Like, yeah. I can't say like, but he did it for the, like, no, he war criminal. Like, there's no, you can say whatever, but he did what he did.
Yeah.
But I think it just, you gotta start.
Yeah, I think that's what you're going for is like.
Start with the man in the mirror.
But it also is like, just start breaking things. Let's start breaking little things, right? Let's start breaking the norms of like, sure there's always going to be a president, right? But let's make it like less and less important. Let's stop putting so much emphasis on it and all that stuff. What's crazy to me too is just like how the media does their shit, which is like so much propaganda. But the common folk don't see the blatant propaganda. And what I mean by that is like if you're watching for example like NBC during election night,
yeah.
And they're obviously going against Trump. Like and that's kind of the shitty thing about Trump, that like if a girl's watching it right now, they're obviously not trying to vote for Trump because of like the abortion stuff. So it makes it easy to like join a team. And when you start thinking about teams, that's when all hell breaks loose. Like teams should be left in sports where you can be like an idiot.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like life, there should be no teams.
Wrong.
It's crazy.
I think we just need a better team.
Better human team?
Just like...
Oh, like new...
Like, just delete Democrats. Something new. Where they're like, all right, everyone here is just corrupted. We just can't trust anybody. But obviously, never going to happen because...
Right.
Economies would collapse or whatever, but some movement where they're like, we just have to kind of start over.
I feel like that happens in other countries all the time, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, but they're like civil wars.
That's true.
Revolutions, coups.
Yeah, we need like who's that candidate? And then he's like, I'm for the chunky party. And then the chunky party just is like a new thing.
Yeah.
Sorry for the horrible name, but...
Chunky boys.
The other thing that irks me is like just the notion of like the women who are like, this is the end of humanity as we know it. Like, what has this country gone into, you know? When he hasn't done anything. First of all, he hasn't done anything yet in this term. Second of all, there's still the government process of like vote, like the democratic process, whatever,
Yeah.
of voting during like voting times. Like when bills come out, you can vote for it, and blah blah blah, right?
Yep.
So I don't see. I understand that people can get scared for things, but don't lose like all hope of just like, oh, now we're going to shit. I think it's like you're right. Like let's just make it as good as possible.
I think if like you believe it's done, then it's done.
Right.
But if you're like, all right, this is probably the worst day of my life, let's try tomorrow.
Right.
Like, sure, like acknowledge how horrible it is, but in the end, at least for Americans, I think we're pretty free to really like impact whatever we want. But if you go to like literally anywhere else, like they would not ever be able to. Like we're really set up to start like revolutions if we really, really wanted to. I don't think most other countries are able to.
Mm-hmm.
Like countries in our position where like everyone's just battling each other.
Yeah.
I think if you go to like maybe, I don't think they're even battling each other. China, like that's gonna be like that forever, unless there's some crazy
coup.
Yeah. But I don't even know how their government, how their social life works, how any of that works.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's I only know what I know.
I would love. That's something I'm interested in. Like, what is like a regular day like for a Chinese person or a Japanese person? You know, like that stuff kind of interests me to see, like empathize, to see what they go through or what they don't go through that we think like, oh, life must be so hard. And
You just
like,
gotta watch slice of life anime.
that's true.
Yeah,
Does it think?
yeah.
Oh, cool.
That's like its own genre.
Oh, slice of life
Yeah.
anime.
Yeah. Never heard of it?
I'm just saying, like, it's probably not. It won't reflect
I think-
100%.
Roughly, if you find like the good ones, obviously, like Slice of Life, top one.
But what do they do? Slice of life, anime, Chinese life.
That's what I was like. For Japanese, sure, but
Okay.
I don't know, because like, what art do they produce? Like, that's one thing where.
Relax there.
Okay, name one.
Oh, huh. Yeah, I don't know.
Like I know they release like random movies, like $500 million budgets with like Matt Damon starring it, and he takes like 200 million.
No, not that. It's like a C-list guy.
But that's a real movie though.
Really?
Yeah, there's like a Chinese movie that's like $200 million.
Isn't that like about the Great Wall of China?
Someone, I don't know, it doesn't matter. But they have,
Yes.
that's like their art where they're just like literally copies of what we do with no soul. Well, not no soul. That's a little mean. I said that like, dang, I'm a bad person.
What about like architecture? I think they're known for like dope ass architecture.
Today, though?
Yeah, like a lot of like crazy lights and stuff, and like buildings with like crazy looking Blade Runner landscapes.
Oh, but like sometimes it feels like it's not made from like a spiritual or like artistic place. It's like
Money.
yeah, like oh, what's that one like Dubai where it's like
Yeah.
here's Caesar's palace.
Yeah.
You know, like okay, what does that have to do with Dubai?
Like here's an island that
Yeah.
we built with our hands.
Yeah, and it's like a building stacked on an island with a building on over here. You know,
Yeah.
like sure, that's incredible. Maybe closer to like Pyramid of Giza, that sort of thing. But even that, I think that one was made more. I mean, I don't know. Maybe back then they're like, this is like Dubai, you know?
That's crazy that like it seems with that kind of stuff where like they build islands and like crazy architecture in random spots where probably it's kind of hard to build. Like they're completely fighting against reality, building those kind of things, and they're fighting reality with like wads of cash.
I was thinking about yachts, like super yachts, that are,
Yeah.
like billions of dollars. I'm like, what an absolute waste! Like, just go have your like use 99% of that to throw the best party for like 10 years, you know?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But now they have a yacht that's just like literally sitting there being serviced day in and day out with nobody using it.
Yep,
Just a skeleton crew. Insane.
that's crazy. That's crazy. I'd rather build like a dope ass school.
Yeah.
That's like, you know, like high tech high. Have you heard of that? But like real high. This would be like high tech high.
Oh. Like the walls are like 30 iPads.
Yeah.
Just a panel.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, capitalism, maybe.
I saw, this is a tiny tangent, but I saw, I think Stephen Colbert interview like a Russian billionaire, and the billionaire's like, that's your problem. Like you're too. No, he asked like, I don't know what he asked actually. He says the Russian guy's like, that's your issue, American's issue. You're too obsessed with like the material. Like you should be happy with what you have. And Stephen Colbert's like, but you have $1 billion yacht. And he's like, I do, but you know, I don't care about it. And Steven's like, okay. It's like that disconnect. Like, all right, if you don't care about it, why'd you even get it? Why'd you lose $1 billion that can save 30 Russian villages, like transform them into all like Vegases, if that's what you want? You know?
Yeah. What are your opinions about, off topic but back on topic, like all of the people that support a party that are like celebrities?
Oh, like Charlie XCX saying,
or Beyonce, like
brat.
Yeah, like. I know I just don't think they think about it enough. Like.
I think they're just. I mean, I think they are disconnected, and this is like 30 issues. I feel. Because I mean, first off, I think I'm okay. You know, I'm doing well. Like I'm not. I don't think I'm gonna be the one suffering too much from this.
Correct.
So even me saying it.
Yeah, that's like, something to keep in the back of our heads as white males.
You're not white.
What? No.
Oh yeah.
I was wearing a white shirt. I got confused.
So, but with that, I think I'm still aware that I have a little taste of that, you know, of how people are suffering and how people aren't suffering. Like Beyonce versus that person who just literally check to check sort of life. And then I don't think I even know anybody below that where they're like, I don't even know, you know, like I have no concept of extreme poverty besides like homelessness.
Yes.
I don't know what's in that gap between homelessness, like the guy on the street corner begging versus check to check.
Right.
And I feel like that chunk is probably pretty big. It's just I don't go in those circles, you know? Mm-hmm. With all that in mind, I think these celebrities are just either disconnected or they know, but they're not willing to give up their money in a serious way. Like give up in a way where like, oh, this hurts.
What do you mean by that?
Like, Beyonce, like, all right, I have $10 billion. How about I use 9.5 billion to like really save literally everyone, and then I'll have a nice humble 500 million. Obviously, that's like huge.
Yes.
It doesn't have that much, but I think a good chunk of these celebrities are, and I mean, they're not even the real issue. The real issue is like the billionaires who just, we don't know their faces. But if they would start that, if they can do some of that, but they would say like, I earned this money, this is mine. Or like an issue is if they give it all away, they won't be able to make more. Like not just the artist, but like if it's easy to make money if you already have money. Like it just compounds and compounds. If you give away 10 billion, you can't make 10 billion easy. Mm-hmm. If you give away 5 billion, have 5 billion left, you can still make more money.
So you ultimately, I mean, the question was more so like morally, how, like, what are these celebrities, where are they at mentally? Mm-hmm. But it seems like, and it's fair to go this way in the conversation, you were thinking more so like, instead of supporting a party how about you really focus on philanthropy? You think it seems like, and that seems like a recurring subject to you, like philanthropy is one of the ways to fix society.
Yeah. Yeah.
But why are there so many philanthropies out there
Philanthropists.
without, and like companies like that, right? Without, I mean, do you know the impact of philanthropies out there?
No. But
like, cause I don't either.
Yeah. But I know what you mean. Like,
I'm just saying,
do you know?
I'm just saying, like, does Bill Gates Foundation actually work? Or is it just a scheme?
I think even if it does work, they should be giving more. They should, like, at a point, it should kind of hurt a little bit. Like, there's like a story I read where during, like, Katrina, like, some tribe in whatever nation sent over, like, 30 sheep to America, because that's, like, the most they can ever give. And I'm sure, like, that was, like, that probably hurt them. I don't think Beyonce's ever done any. I'm tired of targeting her. I don't think Jay-Z done anything.
Got him.
Where they're like, if I do this, I'm probably, like, this is actually financially irresponsible technically, you know? Like, it's always like, well, I could give away 10 million, sure. Because I'll make that back. And
you never see 10 million, by the way. It's always like $1 million.
Yeah, exactly. And still a lot. But Jay-Z, a billionaire, if he doesn't need all that. Nobody ever needs a billion. No one ever needs 100 million. 50 million, no. 5 million?
But there must be, like, I feel like we don't know something that smarter economic and smarter good billionaire, like good moral billionaires know, because I feel like this would be solved, it would be talked about more, where I guess what I'm saying is, like, I ultimately have a feeling that philanthropy doesn't work that well.
But I think you're wrong.
And I have to, now that I say it out loud, it has to work, right? Because, like, if one of the goals, like, basic goal of one of the philanthropies is, like, we need to feed 1,000 children in Africa.
Yeah.
That obviously has been done before and worked, right? But what we're talking about, okay, that's my issue. I'm thinking, like, how do you have a moral philanthropy?
What do you mean?
Like, we need $100 trillion into mental health type of thing.
I think
like fixing people's moral health.
Like being a good example. I think that's the only way, like, these artists can do it. Like, if like they were really about it, like Kendrick, he's perfect probably. Like, probably has probably 50, 100 million in the bank. I don't know. He's likely rich.
You think it's 100 million?
I think he has a good amount, but I'm sure he gives a lot back. I don't know how much, but even if...
I don't think it's 100 million.
50?
I think he would have, like, max in the bank. I think he would have max 25 million.
And that's because he's not selling himself out as hard as a Drake, who has $1 billion empire, likely.
You think he has how much cash reserves do you think? Like, if Drake literally wants to pull all his cash out of the bank, how much do you think he has?
I'd say 100.
Yeah. And then, like, if he sold everything?
200, 300?
I'd say, like, 400.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because that's, like, selling your company stocks and, like...
Oh, okay. I was thinking just, like, houses and
no.
boats and hoes. And
no, like, sell the stocks that you invest in.
Right. Yeah, then yes. But I think they would sell it, like, it sucks because, again, they're not the real issue. It's, like, the billionaires who you don't know.
Right.
That's the ones who just have this by the grip. But if these artists would set a good example, I think that's a good step.
Public figures showing good examples.
Yeah, not being hypocrites.
I think it would be cool if like it was more of a common thing that like, especially like once you make it, because I'm thinking about, for example, Lil Uzi Vert, like he worked so hard because he was poor, right?
Yeah.
And then he makes it, and now that he made it, he's not gonna work as hard, and his music sucks. So if he put himself in a hole again, maybe he comes back out of it, right? So if everyone started doing that, like you become successful, okay, let's cut 99% of my revenue again.
Yeah.
And then let's start from the bottom, and then it'll be like a great way to keep getting better. And also potentially even get bigger, you know?
Yeah. There's, I mentioned him before, but a streamer, critical, but like for first like few years, maybe like 5 years of his career, he did not take any revenue from anything, like everything charity completely, and then he had his own job. And then now he does 50% and then just streams full time. But now like he's just untouchable because he's given so much, and he's so like kind of like self-aware and knows that in the end he has like the best life ever.
Yeah.
Being able to do this.
Yeah.
Like no ego, like I really don't care. And with that, like he became probably top 10 streamer at this point. Like that's another example of like, even if you don't like streamers, like he's living by a good code where like he does not have to worry about cancel culture because
right.
First off, he's a good person and he's never going to get canceled for being rich because like he probably has maybe $1 million or $2 million,
mm-hmm.
but he doesn't Drake flaunt it, you know?
Yeah, that is interesting.
Like God's Plan by Drake giving away maybe like whatever the budget of the shoot was, maybe like 25,000. He gave that away.
It was more like 500,000.
But was it really?
Yeah.
And he gave that all away?
Yeah.
Still. I don't know.
I mean, I think that's the thing that I don't agree with you sometimes, because you always say like these celebrities should give away X amount of money when they're not even close to that X amount of money. I feel like. I obviously don't know. You don't know either how much money they really have. But the amount of money that you report you want them to give away is like, I think,
painful amounts.
Times 100. No, like they don't even have that net value.
Well, if they don't, that's fine. But like, let's say a Drake, he got his 5 million, the classic 5 million, right? And then after that, like, all right, everything I make now is going into an investment group. And then each year, half of that's going to go to specific charities. So he's still working. But ultimately, he's not keeping any of it.
Yes.
Like, it's all just going into this investment group that's making money. And then every year, a chunk, save Africa or whatever, you know?
Yep.
That's what I think is how they should be doing it. Not work, Travis Scott, sell $80 baby shoes, and then keep that, and then work with McDonald's, keep that, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, it's too much. If you're going to do that, give it away. And then I think a good rebuttal is like, all right, now we have poor artists again, and then these corporations are still rich, you know? Right. McDonald's isn't losing anything on that.
Right. You want all these public figures to do it, but what about these ex-billionaires?
But I think these public figures should not work with these companies if they're not willing to like go half and half. Like,
but it's also the society of saying like, I'm not gonna buy McDonald's until they give me my mom.
Like, it's a trickle down. Like Travis, he has to do this, so, and then Travis should be like, well, I offered this to McDonald's and they said no because they don't want to lose that much money. Bam, McDonald's loses like so much stock, you know?
But isn't like, now you just made me think of something. Isn't one of the core issues with America that like you're here? Just kidding, got him.
Me?
Is it one of the issues with America that like the whole concept of it is that like if you can't make, like, you can come here and you can make it, right? Like, that's the core concept of America. And it's like almost, I'm thinking of like Australia too. Like, it's a country of prisoners, right? So like, this is a country of people who are like all trying to make it.
Yeah.
So obviously that breeds a certain type of person.
Yeah.
And even like us as parents, our parents came here with that in mind, right? Like, we're instilled their values, right?
Yeah.
So it's all like this kind of effect where like everyone's like pushing each other this way, so we become this kind of capitalistic monster. And I don't think that's fixable. I think there's ways to like improve ourselves in certain ways, but like the amount of fixing that needs to be done would take multiple lifespans.
Yeah.
Which is like, that's fine too.
Yeah.
Right? Like, as long as we're pushing towards that way.
But I don't see like a serious movement for that in any way.
But maybe you don't see it because it's such a small, little, gradual thing. Like I said, multiple lifespans, that you can't see it if you're just in it.
But like, I mean, as far as like leaders, I don't see anyone where I'm like, oh, he's pushing besides like Kendrick Lamar.
This guy. Now he's a Kendrick stan.
I don't see like a serious leader where I could be like, he's the Kendrick of politics.
But there is that. I mean, there is
maybe like Bernie, but
there's small leaders in every field.
Yeah. But
there are no big leaders there's no like Paul Atreides, obviously.
Bad example.
But there's a bunch of small leaders, and I think that goes back to multiple lifespans. Like, you're not going to see a Paul Atreides because, like, it's not going to happen in one big push. It's going to happen lifespans and lifespans, like, probably 10 lifespans from now.
But shouldn't I see, like, some hint of, like, a push towards, like, some better? Like, it all feels like everyone's like, well, life sucks.
I mean, I think in my lifetime, I've seen what it is to believe in the news to not even believe in the news. Mm-hmm. So that's a change. It's not like technically positive change, but it's a change in mindset that people already have.
Right.
So not everything's like a straight line, I guess. I
don't think we have like the time, like, global warming wise, to be like this gradual.
Yeah, global warming is a different thing that I don't even know if it's real or not.
Okay.
That's like a different political view I had. Because like, Earth moves in cycles too, right? Like, how can you... And how old is Earth? How do you know, like...
science now, right? Can
what?
I just ask, like, ChatGPT, like, is the Earth water level rising?
Yeah.
Yes. What else do you need?
But, like, has it risen before and dropped before? And they're like, well, yeah.
I think they would say, like, yeah, right after the meteor hit the dinosaurs.
But I would, like, I don't know enough, but I have to assume that everything's like this. Like, I don't think it's because of us that things are going like that.
I do.
I mean, I think we're helping it go like that. Mm-hmm. But I should say, it'll go back down.
Oh.
But I don't know enough. I might be complete. No.
Don't shoot me.
I'm definitely talking out of my ass.
Don't shoot me.
But my hunch, as a seasoned vet of this game...
that you just admitted where you didn't know.
Is that things are cyclical but I could be wrong. You're right. You might be right.
I just always have, like, in the back of my head, like, everyone at one point, like, nobody thought Rome was going to fall because it was too big, you know?
But there's always people saying that the world's going to end.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah. But it could.
It could.
And I'd rather push us to a place where we're
Yeah.
ready for that than be like, oh, turns out they're right and we're kind of screwed.
Right.
Like, why even?
Risk it.
Yeah.
But okay. Yeah.
And even if it's not, if we act like it is, the world will be better either way.
Yeah. I would say that, like, yeah, let's treat the environment better, but I don't know what that all entails. Does that mean like billions of people have to die too? As far as like, if we want to treat the world better, there has to be a less population on Earth.
Well, I think maybe a little more
Sci-fi?
Well, it's tough.
Should we
'cause,
push
like,
out?
No,
Star Trek?
I don't think we're smart enough for that yet.
Okay. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That kind of, like, sometimes I think about, like, my optimistic Adrian kicks in, and I'm like, it would be dope to have like Star Trek. Because then you have like cities in different universes.
Yeah.
Or even like a simplified version. We can go to the moon and live on the moon, right? That'd be cool.
Yeah. Because then we'll have those problems there.
Yeah, more money, more problems. That is a great quote.
Jay-Z.
B.I.G.
Oh, whatever you say.
What is about Trump that we could end on regarding Trump?
I really want to see SNL lose their minds over this, because I'm on the boat of SNL's probably sorry, I'm laughing at myself.
This guy.
I'm just so funny.
You're giddy.
I think like SNL has been pretty bad for a while.
Okay.
It needs like a serious upheaval.
Okay.
But I see comedy as like such a freeing thing, because it really shows like if it's really honest, then it shows the issues of it, the issues of our times, without like shaming, just like, let's laugh at this, right? But I don't think SNL's held up that mirror well enough.
Mm-hmm.
Where all their jokes are literally, not all, but for that whole 4 years it was Donald Trump, like him being there. That's the joke, you know? The impressions, the like, at least I'm not Donald Trump. Like it's so lame. It's so boring. There's no, like, we know he's weird. Like we know it's like he's kind of crazy. Like,
Yep.
make a joke on something a little deeper than that. Like,
So what do you're hoping SNL goes up?
what's this
from here?
coming from though?
I don't know.
Because there's a link to this. There's a hyperlink.
I asked you like anything you want to round out the Donald Trump.
I want to see how SNL handles this. Is like Dave Chappelle gonna be like? I couldn't even picture like come out, just stare at the audience for 5 minutes, like that. Literally, people would die.
Yeah.
And if that happens, I'm never watching. I mean, I wasn't never watching it either way, but it just.
I think it's a bad. I don't think we should. It goes back to something you preach. Like, why are we even looking at these guys anymore?
Yeah, but not even like. I'm not talking about like the figures. I'm saying just the comedy itself, like the art itself. Like, we're not looking at the people. Like, we should be like, ideally SNL would have all nobodies on it, and then that one, I'm sure, a guest celebrity singer, because that's iconic. But all nobodies, and it's just funny because it is funny, not because it's Keenan, it's Cal, you know, it's that guy, it's, oh my god, Bill Hader's back.
But
It's a funny episode.
I just think that SNL's time has gone.
But
Like it's time for the next thing, and it's. I mean, I would say it's already here with like different like podcasts and maybe like shows, but I think it's just time to.
It's over when you believe it's over.
I believe it's over.
I think it is. That's why it needs like a revival of like just clean the house. There's no reason why Keenan is there for like 30 years, other than like, money, and I would, not to be mean, but like fear of doing anything else because that's all you know. Like he's done the same job his whole life, literally.
Yeah.
Because all that, you know, since he was 12,
Great show.
He's done the same thing. That's insane.
Yeah.
Not that he's bad, but if
you do it for 50, he's not good.
If you do it for 50 years, you're going to be decent at literally the base version of what you're doing.
I don't like him anymore because like every time I watch one of his skits, it's like he's like about to laugh, like he's like smiling, and I just like I can't get over that smile. He's like,
I think he's been there so long he knows exactly what the audience finds funny, and it's him being like, okay guys, what's going on here?
It would be cool. I'm not gonna lie. It would be cool if SNL made a resurgence, right? That'd be cool. Like bring back a classic brand. I can wear a Saturday Night Live shirt and be cool again.
Like it's
Americana.
Yeah, like it's up there.
Oh, I love myself some Americana.
And it's sad that it's not even. It's sad that it's not such a cultural icon anymore.
Yeah.
And it could be. Like it has a brand name. Celebrities still go on it. Like it's set up well.
No, it's actually not set up well. Because the big limiting factor is ads. Why? Because like you need to toe a line to tell a joke on live TV for ad purposes.
Oh, but even that's dead. Like
no, it's not. Like they still need to do ads and they still need to bend their will.
SNL should be a loss for them.
But it's not gonna be. that's what I'm saying. It's set up to fail because it's the way things are set up currently, and maybe that's the Trump thing that changes. Like maybe people start being a little bit more like laissez-faire with like their beliefs, right? But like if someone sees like a joke that they don't agree with, causes uproar, and then SNL backs off, so things can't be risque.
Well, then they should fire whoever isn't willing to make the joke just because of an ad, and they shouldn't take an ad because.
But you know that's not gonna happen.
Well,
because we're talking money now.
We don't have to make all the money.
Sure, Utopia boy.
That's what they call me, Utopia boy.
But you know what I mean. I know what you mean, but you know that I'm right.
Yeah, but I don't think it's that like Gerber isn't gonna pull out just because they make. I'm not saying they make like gross out humor or anything like that. Just like something a little more deep that calls to people more.
I'm saying if a Shane Gillis like person goes on there as like the new cast member and talks shit about transgender people, they're gonna get shitted on. They're not gonna show Saturday Night Live. He's gonna get suspended. Blah 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 blah.
I think if they have good writers and they're funny, they can still do it. Because you can make a joke about transgender people if it's an actual joke and not like the same.
No, I don't think so.
I think you could.
I think I think that's the thing too. Like, people get offended too easily, even though it's not to be offensive. I mean, it is to be offensive, but it's like, it's even like the stuff with Dave Chappelle's jokes, where like he has a message in there, but all you hear is like the hate, right? And maybe, I know you're not like the biggest fan of Chappelle, man, but there's something there where like even though he's saying a truth, or even though he's saying a joke with some truth in it, people only see the bad part of it if they're on the other side of the team.
I think you're right.
Right? Like and I agree with you, like that should be the answer of like write a great joke, even though you're saying like some hateful things, but it's like all in good fun. People should be able to be aware enough and accept that, but there's a lot of people out there that just like, they hear something like, oh, that's evil, or that's bad, or that's against my team, so I'm not going to accept it. That's what I think we should fix, where it's like...
But I think the only way to fix that is through like being a good example, and then art, and then comedy is the art. Like, there's no way to fix this without people getting mad. There's no way to fix it without people being hurt. Because you have to attack that part of themselves that they're too scared to confront. And then really unravel it, like really, really unravel it. Instead of like base level, like, well, you're weird for being this way. Like, you're weird for being this way because this and this and this and this. And they're like, I guess you're right. Like, you have to just like annihilate it.
Yeah. I wish that was a thing. Like, people can just be... I don't know. I think just people get easily triggered.
I think that's the issue with like the Democratic Party. They're like too worried about hurting anyone's feelings.
Yeah.
And that makes them so insincere. Because like if you go with your friends or anywhere, like, that guy's kind of ugly, isn't he?
Right.
You know?
Right.
Like there's no, like with your friends or with close family, you're not politically correct.
Right.
Never. Like the best shows, not politically correct. Mad Men.
Right.
You watch like sexism.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Like I've seen people
Me
say
too.
like, I don't like Mad Men because they're sexist. Like, I don't agree with it.
Yeah. I get it if like you watch it and you're just like, I can't take that. Like I can't watch it. But
yeah, if it like hits the part where like you're not ready for that.
Yeah, sure. But if you're watching the show and you're like, this show's so sexist, like,
yeah, that's
when like you need work, dude.
Yeah.
Like, realize that you have to accept that to live.
Yeah.
Damn, I want to watch Mad Men. I haven't watched anything.
Finish The Penguin.
I haven't even watched soccer. Like, I watch highlights.
That's pretty good.
I have been listening to audiobooks.
Me too.
Game of Thrones.
Oh, no.
Second book. You know what I realized is, like, other than like basic storytelling getting that good, telling a big narrative, right? That's what George R.R. Martin does well. Another thing he does well is like character voice, right? Like Bran talks this way because he's an 8-year-old boy, right? And then Tyrion talks this way because he's like a sophisticated man, and like that's incredibly difficult.
Yes, and keeping those voices in your head.
Yeah. Like, what would Tyrion say to this?
Yeah.
But what would Bran say to this? And what would Jaime say to... Like, that's crazy. And for every character... Like, there's, like, random characters that pop up, and they have, like, their own, like... And sure, like, the audiobook kind of helps because, like, the actor acts out the voice differently. Yeah. But it's unique.
Yep.
Good job. Good job, JJ. I mean, James R.R. Martin. Sorry, JJ. I didn't.
JJ Abrams.
JJ Redick. Lakers, baby. Woo! Let's play tonight, baby.
Are they doing well?
As well.
Here we go.
LeBron is 40 years old out there.
All right,
scoring 30 points a game.
Ankles cracking up there.
It's literally like unfreaking believable, the stuff that he does.
I know, because it is.
It's kind of cool too that like now that he's like dad strength LeBron, he just plays like that, just like move child. That's a cool thing. We just like our team is good if you look like at 3 of our players, but then if you look at the rest of the team, we suck.
They're gonna take it all.
Nah.
LeBron's final season?
No.
This man needs to quit.
I think he has like 2 more years.
Jeez.
Because like if you think about it, you're playing this well at this age. Like you're still doing well. You're still.
Aren't you supposed to leave people wanting more? Not like, all right, get to it.
I mean, I guess it is kind of like the Keenan thing, where like, but at the same time, he's still performing well. It's like,
So it's Keenan.
is he? I would disagree, but okay. Like if you surround LeBron with great players, he's gonna win a championship.
Sure.
But will he get surrounded with great players? That's the issue.
How's the son doing? How's the little boy doing?
Pretty bad.
Really?
Yeah, he's not that good.
Ever? Or just because he's new?
He was never really like one of the good players in his class.
Is he losing the championship for them?
No, he barely plays.
Oh, really?
He plays like 5 minutes, 2 minutes a game.
So what? Is that his life now?
I think his goal is like, I'm just gonna bum it for a couple of years.
And quit.
No, and then like hopefully I get good enough to really.
He's
He's like learning on the job, like an intern.
Yeah.
And like he might get fired.
He better get it together before his dad leaves.
Yeah,
because like,
exactly.
he's gonna get bullied as soon as he's gone.
Yeah, it's so interesting. Like I saw like he came into the game and then the starters were like, "Good job," and I'm like, they wouldn't say good job if
his dad wasn't back there. Like, yeah, he's better.
Did he give you a high five? All right, I want you.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Will Smith and Jaden.
we've done the exact same thing.
To what?
As LeBron and Bronny, we were in the same boat. It's just a different scale. Can you blame them?
I think scale matters.
Skill matters.
No, scale.
Yeah, but I don't know, man.
I
Like
think when
someone would have wanted your job.
When it's that level where there's only 42 whatever players in the world in that game, doing that job, I think that's a lot different than the millions of waiters that are out there, you know? Like I understand.
You're saying job opportunities.
Yeah, I understand.
Scarce.
Like literally, we did the same thing, but there's so many different little nuances that make it not the same thing. And we didn't need to be the best ever. He needs to be the best ever because he's playing with the best people ever.
Job opportunity.
Yeah.
It's a good argument. I want to go like zig the other way and say like, well, isn't it kind of fucked up that like, wait, no, I don't think there's an argument there. I'm just saying like, it matters more because there's more people looking for a job in your field, right? Mm-hmm. But you took one of their jobs. So it impacts people more that way.
I took a busser's job.
You took someone who relies on $10 to survive, right? Where like...
Guess what? It's America, baby.
He puts on a capitalist hat.
Hell yeah! Yeehaw!
Okay, what else? What you been watching, reading?
Penguin finished. Delicious show. Want to know?
I don't really care at all.
He's a villain.
He is?
He's a villain.
I never would have guessed that.
But like, they didn't cower. They did what SNL couldn't do.
He cut someone's balls off.
Pretty
that was
much.
Like a good guy.
Yeah. Not literally, but worse.
Yeah. It's like they pulled a Game of Thrones when like they went that far.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
But they needed to. It's a good show. Excited for Batman 2. Set up well. Everything's amazing.
Life's going good. Batman's going good. I'm going good.
Yeah.
The franchise of Batman's doing well. Ivan's doing well.
Hell yeah.
That's funny. After you're like 30 hours of consuming Batman content 2 weeks ago. Is that still going?
I'm playing Batman Arkham Knight now.
Nice.
Just because like, well, I've seen him in every angle. Time to become him.
What about like the VR games?
I love VR.
That's your next step.
VR isn't at the level that I want it to be at. Like I think it's like 10 years out. Like I need. Like right now, it's like.
Okay, I know that. I think the more interesting tangent on that is like, is Meta gonna just fail now?
Oh.
Cause like they're all in basket right there.
I think it doesn't matter because if they fail, like some other company's gonna be like, we could build everything on just the pile of rubble they did. Like they took the risk, but whoever's next, like they're gonna get the spoils of their treasure.
I see Meta now as like what Microsoft is. They're just like big, too big to fail, but stagnant.
Yeah.
And just like reaping cash, but like, who cares? We're fine.
They're just really playing the long game and hoping, or I guess Zuckerberg's like, it'll work out. Will it? I don't know. Like, I'll be impressed if he's right.
Right.
But I think reality is reality.
Reality is augmented in his eyes. Music.
I think I'm done with music forever.
That's fine.
I just been doing audiobooks. But yeah, I'll just pause music for a bit.
Hobbies. Writing.
I'm reading more. Yeah, just reading more, which is what I needed to do. See how it goes.
Work.
Working a little less in a good way. I asked for 3 days off now that it's slow season. Just so I can really like have a life, you know?
This was your goal all along, and you lied to me. You lied to all of our fans.
There was money to be had, and now that there isn't money, even though not that there isn't, I should be working more. But I have enough.
Oh no, you fell into the trap.
I have enough saved where as long as I just do, like I don't need anything besides food, water, shelter.
So just tuna, rice, veggies, water, the occasional ice cream out.
Let's not be crazy. But yeah, and just do that for a couple months, and then once it gets busy, get back into that. But by then, I think I'll have a good foothold to what I want to do. We'll see. I just work.
Diet. Gotcha.
It's been good. No, that's a lie. It's been decent. I've stuck to having a good amount of protein, but why I falter is like, let me have grilled cheese with this.
Oh,
let me get one grilled cheese.
You dirty boy.
But I don't think it's not over the top. I still get the protein, and I still exercise enough to offset it. So even if I go like a grilled cheese or a little treat here and there, like it's not enough where it sets me back in any way. If anything, it just goes to like a dirty bulk.
Right.
And I can live with that, you know?
Yeah, it's interesting for me, like my diet is kind of everywhere, but I do keep high protein as like a priority. And I retain, it's crazy that like I retain the muscle. The shape ain't there.
The shape ain't there.
I got a muffin top. But your boy's out here.
I don't mind that. I just, like, as long as I don't get obese. That's like, anything else.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
I do mind the muffin top, but I would die if I have a belly.
But you...
Like, if once I see, like, a bulge, I'm like...
But you've lived skinny for your whole life.
Yep.
I could
say that.
I was born in the darkness, buddy. I didn't see no muffin top until I was already a man, buddy.
Yeah, the muffin top's kind of like, wow, this is life.
Humbling, huh? Doesn't feel good, does it?
I feel like I could... Like I'm a blueberry muffin out here.
Or like double chocolate chunk.
Alright, Ivan. That's enough offensive talk.
My bad. I just wanted you to feel what I felt. Just a little sample.
Well, the issue is actually my clothes are a little too tight. Maybe if I get those little wide fitting pants, I wouldn't have muffin top, right? Maybe if I don't squeeze myself in, I would be squeezing out.
Maybe it's just time to get some new clothes.
I will say this.
Tell me.
I did invest in some raw denim.
Selvage Japanese.
Had to.
Selvage Japanese.
It's an incredible experience.
All right, let's.
Cause like you put them. It's first of all, there's like there's ounces, right? There's like 13 ounce. There's actually 7, 9, 13, 15, 17, 21 ounce, 30 ounce, right? Where the higher the ounce, the thicker it is. I got 21 ounce. Those boys were like the thick. I put them on. I thought like I got the wrong size. I was like, these things are too like cardboard. Within a day, they were already like movable, and now they're just like a little very comfortable.
Yeah.
In a year, there will be like silk pants on my baby butt.
How much?
A good 200.
Ooh, 0.2 G's, eh?
Yep.
Tough.
But I'm rocking them nonstop.
You're at the gym with them on. You're at work with them on.
And I grab them and I'm just like, I love you.
Yeah. Each cheek, right?
So that's my life update.
Jeans. Consumers.
What else before we go?
Not much. What is looking for inspiration? Guess that's it. That's the inspiration. A notification of life pushing us to move on.
Got him. We'll be back next week.
We will.
How's the uploading going?
It is being uploaded.